Okay,
Here we are.
here we are.
It's Dean and Ann back again, and we are going to review episode 1, season 4 of True Detective.
Yes.
This is the new one that's just come out. And, yeah, this is a bit of a departure for us because we're normally talking about football-related shows.
Yes, but I was happy to see there's a tiny bit of football in this.
There is a little bit of football in this show.
Yes, but I'm excited for this season of True Detective. I really loved the very first season.
Yeah. First season was actually 10 years ago this week. That's 10 years of True Detective. Did you know that?
I didn't know that. That makes me feel very old.
Oh, right. I'm sorry. Yeah, the first season of True Detective was incredible.
Yes.
Written and created by Nick Pizzolatto. I hope I'm saying it right. Starring Woody Harrelson and Matthew McConaughey. We're also executive producers.
And it was just great. It was great. Everything about it.
It was great, and the other seasons were good too. I comparing the other seasons to season 1 is a little challenging because it's just so the first season was so amazing. What I love about True Detective is that it's different than a lot of other TV dramas in that it doesn't give you all the information, doesn't spell everything out for you. It doesn't treat the audience like we're stupid. And, some people are turned off by that.
Yeah. And, with mainstream network TV shows, they solve the crime usually within 1 or 2 episodes.
Yeah.
Whereas this takes, I'm assuming 8.
Well, this is going to be 6 episodes.
6. Oh, right.
Yeah, this is a short one. Yeah.
Right.
This is written and directed by Issa Lopez. This is her first time on a big budget movie, show, whatever. And anyways, we just got done watching it not too long ago, earlier today. And we're going to give you our take on the first episode of season 4. So,
yes.
You want to talk about some of the people?
Yeah, I'll talk about the main actors, the main characters. We have Jodie Foster, of course, playing Liz Danvers. With the what was she with? The APF.
Yeah, she's a local sheriff.
Local sheriff. Yes.
Yeah.
And I don't think I need to go into Jodie Foster's filmography. I think everybody knows. Next, we have, I don't know how to say this name. Kaylee Reese, who is a professional boxer.
Yeah.
As well as a budding actor.
Mm-hmm.
I imagine we'll see much more of her in the future. She's playing Evangeline Navarro. We have Fiona Shaw, who's playing Rose Aguinu, who you might know as Petunia Dursley.
Oh, that's where she's from.
Also my favorite, the counselor in Fleabag. Oh. And also Andor.
She is in Andor.
Yes. You're welcome.
Good job.
Fiona also has probably a pretty long list of accolades to her name.
Cool.
We have Finn Bennett playing Peter Pryor, who is the young man, the son of...
He's a deputy.
Yes, the deputy. Thank you. Thank you.
Well, they're both deputies.
Yes. There wasn't much about him online. We have Isabella Starr LeBlanc playing Leah Danvers. Not too much on her roster yet either. And then John Hawkes playing Hank Pryor.
Okay.
Who we know from Deadwood. Me, You, and Everyone We Know. And tons of other stuff. He also had a very long list of priors.
I recognized him right away as being a character actor that's in a lot of stuff, and I couldn't think of what, so I'm glad you looked it up.
Yes, because it drives me crazy. And I'm proud of myself for not looking up during the episode. I refrained because that is something I like to do. Look up what's going to happen and who people are.
Yep.
So these are this is the main cast. There's lots of other appearances by other people.
But not a lot of well-known faces. Obviously, Jodie Foster is a big-time name, but most of the cast is fairly unknown, right? I like that. I like seeing new people get jobs and do cool stuff. The theme song is Billie Eilish, "Bury a Friend," and I was shocked when it came on because I was like, "Wow, that's such a mainstream song for this show," but it's so good. Of course, everything Billie does is amazing. Billie and Phineas. Yeah. So okay, you got anything else for
That's all I
getting us
have
started?
for pre-show. Yes.
Pre-show stuff. Okay. Well, I know you took a lot of notes. I took a few as well.
My notes were mainly so I don't forget things that have happened, so I can remember to talk about it if I want.
This is the key to watching True Detective, by the way. You've got to write some stuff down because they will drop in a line, and 4 episodes later, that line is relevant, and so that's what I meant about that. You don't have to be a genius to watch it, but it helps. Yeah.
Sure. All right. Yeah, this has a much different feel. It does feel a little supernaturally.
Yes.
Compared to season 1, which also had some folk tale like legend in the back of it.
Yeah. I definitely think that True Detective taps into sort of another world, another dimension in different ways, all through all 4 seasons so far. And this one is right. It's right up, right at the beginning. It's almost a horror, less a procedural.
You mentioned X-Files, and I agree. There are a few times I'm like, am I going to jump at something that's going to come out?
It was honestly a little freaky. Yeah, there's some freaky stuff. The caribou.
Yes, yep, that was interesting. Yes, at the very beginning we see a hunter. He's has caribou in his sights.
And right as the sun's setting, this is set in Alaska. The sun is setting for the final time. It's like I think the equinox, the solstice.
Yes.
Anyways, the sun's going down and it's not coming back up for 3 months or something like that. And the caribou just go nuts. And I don't think that's a natural phenomenon. So I think there's something. There were several instances of animals acting weird, acting out of character at key moments.
Yes.
And there were ghosts in this episode.
Yes.
At least one, possibly more.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought 2.
2, yeah.
For sure.
It's hard to tell what's a dream and what's
yeah.
And that's another thing about this episode is because it's all done at night, it really kind of takes you out of the real world because you can't tell if it's morning or afternoon. They're driving, they're having conversations. You're like, is this late at night or is this first thing in the morning? You don't get any of that information.
Yes, it's very disorienting.
Yeah, intentionally.
After the hunter, we get into the research base. I want to say Tasala.
Yeah, I didn't catch the name of the place. It's a scientific research station in Alaska. 8 people, 8 guys, and they're all doing biological and they're doing scientific research on the atmosphere and the Arctic Circle. Yeah. And it shows them just doing their normal thing, their normal routines of living and doing laundry, making food, making videos,
exercising. Yeah,
one guy's making a video.
Was he making a video, or I thought he was talking to somebody? He was on a video.
No, I think he's doing a video because the camera has him in the camera.
Yeah, but I thought he was talking. Wasn't he talking to somebody?
I don't think he's talking to somebody. I think he's making a YouTube video like we are right now.
Yeah,
because he had a plate
and sandwich.
But then the guy over his shoulder's freaking out, doing some X-Files stuff.
Yes. Yeah, and the guy says he's awake.
She's awake.
You sure?
Yeah, she's awake.
I wrote down he's okay. Then we are jumped to a driver driving, and it says 3rd day of night.
Yeah, so 3 days later.
Yes, he's coming with goodies for these people that they've ordered.
Yeah. Yeah, snacks. It's probably their resupply truck, and because he knows all their names, and he's calling out to them, and then he finds a tongue, a dismembered tongue, under the counter, and nobody around. Although there is someone running off camera or in camera.
Yes.
So at least somebody's in there, unless that's just meant to be like a scare tactic. I don't know. Somebody's there.
Yeah, and then we go to the opening sequence. My next note. All right.
Yeah. So I think then we can probably get into getting into maybe some of the characters and what they're doing.
Sure.
The Danvers character, the Jodie Foster character, she's the sheriff, and um, she's pretty smart. She's figured out how long things have been going on based on the mayonnaise on the sandwich on the table, and the laundry and the thing, and how she's figured out that these guys have been gone. They're missing for already 48 hours. She says. We get some interaction with her subordinates, a father and son, a couple deputies.
Peter and Hank. Peter's the son, Hank is the father.
And I think that Hank was in line to be sheriff, and Danvers came into town and took his job. And so there's a lot of anger and resentment between these two characters already.
Can't say they loved each other.
No, for sure.
Yes.
The kid is he seems eager to do his job. He seems like he wants to learn and grow. So he's kind of the Charlie on the spot kind of guy.
Whereas Hank seems a little...
He doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah, and he has a woman coming from...
Uzbekistan or something.
Yes, that he's excited for. That he's preparing his house for. Painting it her favorite color, blue.
Yeah.
It sounds like they've never met. Sounds like it's an online thing.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see if it's even real.
It's going to be great. I can't wait to find out more about that character because he's got some dark, dark secrets, and
he has all those files in his house.
He took a bunch of files away from the police station when I think what happened was he either was the chief of police or sheriff or whatever title he had, and now he's just back to being a regular old Joe Schmo police officer. And she's got the job that he wanted, and so in retaliation, he's taken a bunch of files and secreted them into his house. So obviously, he's keeping secrets.
Yes.
Danvers herself is very tough. She's mean. She's impatient. I think in this environment, you have to be tough, whether you're male or female. You just have to be a tough person. But she just seems to have low tolerance for stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can identify with that a lot.
But I also think she has a sense of humor.
Yeah.
I think, I think she's tough to protect people, too.
Yeah.
Keep people from dwelling on the past.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's nothing to dwell on.
And maybe that brings us to Navarro.
Yes, I think it does. She is dwelling on a past case. She really feels for any battered women cases.
Mm-hmm.
And she was the one who found the body of Annie K. Who was stabbed many times with an unidentified object.
Mm-hmm.
And she was the person in charge, and she was obsessed with the case, and she did not solve it.
And then she somehow blames Danvers for not also solving it later on. Or not even trying later on. So there's a lot of animosity between that two set of characters.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. She also arrests a man in the beginning at that crabbing place for domestic
violence. Yeah.
Yes. And then we see that guy later on who is complaining about paying the bills and stuff, and she pours
alcohol into his gas tank, and so
it's like, Merry Christmas. It is almost Christmas time. I do think that's relevant.
Oh, okay.
Because they're asking Peter if they'd brought his son to see Santa yet, and he's like, no, not yet.
Oh,
and
yeah. I didn't catch that.
Yes.
Yeah.
There were other clues for it being Christmas, and I can't remember what it was.
Christmas lights,
yeah.
Various lights around.
So, yeah.
Well, no, they came right out and told us that it was December 17th because that's when the sun's going down.
That's right. That's
true. And then 3 days later would be the 20th or whatever. So, yeah, they probably got 5 more days.
Yeah.
5 more episodes. I don't know. We don't know what day it is. Because it's like,
who's going to be coming in a couple days around Christmas?
Some character mentions that there's a problem with the water, the drinking water. It turned bad 3 days ago. So again, getting back to the supernatural thing with the animals acting weird, and now somebody's complaining about the tap water going bad 3 days ago.
Yes, and they were talking about dead sister His name was Ryan.
Mm-hmm.
That was the character's water went bad, is what I wrote down. I don't know.
Okay. And that was his sister that got killed.
I believe so, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
a lot of things intertwining.
Getting back to Navarro, she's also a real tough character. She basically has to be that way, I'm sure, to do the job in Alaska. You just have to be that tough. But we see her doing some real like dude like things in the show. So it's interesting.
Yes, she has a booty call with someone, and she really
just bangs him.
Yeah, and pretty forcefully pins him down at moments.
Yeah, and she's really strong. She's really strong. So they show that.
It was very interesting. And then she shares the toothbrush, which was
steals
disgusting.
it too.
Yes, I don't approve. More characters. Well, the Rose. We don't see her a lot, but she's very important. We first meet her, and she is gutting a wolf.
Yeah, gutting a wolf. And the wolf does something
it kind of like,
after being gutted.
Yeah, I'm assuming gas being expelled. That's what I assume.
Yeah.
But then Travis is there. She says,
and we don't know who Travis is. Yeah.
But we do find out at the end that he is dead.
He's dead. Well, anyways, Travis later on.
He's just standing there.
Yeah, he's standing creepily by in the snow, barefoot.
She does stuff, yes. And then finally she's like, okay, I better see what Travis wants. Mm-hmm. She gets her flashlight and follows him.
Follows him out into the wilderness where she discovers, presumably, the 8 men. We didn't see, I didn't count all the heads that we saw, but there were bodies out there in the snow. And, it was a gruesome scene. Yes.
She seems like maybe she's the local nutcase, perhaps.
Yeah.
Maybe. Or she's different. I'm not sure.
Yeah, she just might be a little more in tune. I mean, she's out there gutting a wolf by herself. So.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah.
We have Jodie Foster's, or Liz Danvers' daughter, Leah Danvers, who, this was interesting. Whatever this daughter got herself into.
A little hijinks.
Yeah.
With one of her classmates.
I'm confused as to how old she's supposed to be. But yes, there are some
you mean the daughter?
Yes.
Yeah.
Adult situations this daughter has gotten herself into, and they're recording it. And
her and another girl made a sex tape, it seems like.
Yes.
Tape is not the right word anymore, but a recording maybe is. And so, and Danvers isn't so terribly concerned, except that it's on tape. It's been recorded, and so the other parent is furious and whatever, but Danvers is kind of like, you didn't have to record it, did you?
Yeah.
Like, that was the mistake.
That's just be normal. Don't record the first time, or however many times.
Right.
We also meet. It was a minor moment, but Evangeline's sister had a freak out. Sorry, I guess maybe I'm jumping around.
No, that's fine. She had a bit of a freak out, and they also have a discussion about how crazy their mother was. So I wonder if that's going to come into play. And then Danvers, this is near the end, Danvers has a dream or is visited by a ghost of a child.
Yes, they said mommy. She said Holden. So I wonder if she has a dead child.
Yeah, but then the daughter, the ghost or whatever, also says she's awake.
Yes.
And then the very next scene, Navarro's driving and is talking to someone on the phone, but then also hears some interference.
Yes.
And a voice says,
"Well, yes,
she's awake."
And there's a polar bear in the middle of the road.
A one-eyed polar bear.
Yes.
Very X-Files, by the way.
Yes, very.
And
she was interviewing somebody about the case again.
That's right.
She was asking, did Annie have anything to do with the research station? And then
the
that
interference
response gets interfered with. Yeah.
Yeah. I was also thinking of the show Lost in that moment.
Oh.
Lots of weird radio frequency stuff going on.
And they had a polar bear.
They had a polar bear? Yeah, exactly.
I didn't watch all of Lost, but I did watch up until the polar bear. So I saw the polar bear. Then we find Evangeline goes up to Seoul
Back to the station.
And then Jody stumbles upon her and is like, "You're not supposed to be up here because you are
you're a different agency. This is our case. You're trespassing." She's got her gun on her, and so they kind of had a bit of an arc there where they kind of acknowledge all the past anger that they have towards each other, but they kind of team up a little bit.
They do, because Jody's up there. She's looking for a coat that she noticed one of the men wearing that the dead Annie had also potentially been wearing.
And this is from one of my favorite scenes in the whole episode where, and it's kind of a cliche now, but they take all the evidence and all the photographs and they put it out on the floor and they spread it all around. Every detective show does this. But I think there's something to it in that, your brain is going to subconsciously put together different facts and pieces. And so this might be a good way to kind of do that. And in fact, she relates the current case with the prior case. As you were saying, there's a coat with a distinctive tear. And so then she's going back to find this because it's in two pictures. So they have it there at the station for some reason.
Yes.
Very interesting stuff.
Yes.
You got anything else?
I wrote down Modern Dance in the Ice. That, I believe, was when Travis started doing his, I don't know, it was quite the dance.
I was wondering if it was modern or if it was some kind of like Indian thing.
It could have, yes, it probably was.
Pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, so all in all, you enjoyed it, sounds like.
Yeah, it was interesting. It was better. I mean, I did not watch season 2 or season 3 of True Detective because I watched one episode of the second season and it was not grabbed.
Yeah, didn't get you like the first season.
But this one, I'm like, what is going on?
Yeah.
I want to know.
Good. Well, I look forward to continuing our reviews with this one. So thanks for watching. Like and subscribe, and we'd love to hear your comments. What you thought of episode 1, season 4.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Well, until next time, I'm Dean. This is Ann. We'll see you.
Yes.
See you around.
All right.